ultimately it's the story that matters. It's the story that the audience will engage with within 5 minutes or not. When an audience buys a ticket for a film, they're buying an emotional experience. So it's our job as storytellers to manipulate their emotions and give them that emotional experience. Starting a scene is always the hardest thing. My method is thinking about where the scene comes in the story. Where the characters were before, where they will be afterwards, what function the scene is doing for the story. Every scene has a beginning, a middle and an end in itself, but you need to think about what is an interesting shot that I can show the audience to pique their curiosity, and whose point of view am I in? So if I'm following one particular character or another particular character, do I want to have an establishing shot, a detailed close-up of someone's face, and then I just try and throw the scene together as quickly as possible, because nothing you do first time is ever any good, but you do need to just get to the end, and then you can watch it and then decide which way to go to improve it. On some films, directors get me involved, months before, and I collaborate closely on the script as it's written, and give them my thoughts on how the pace of the film will turn out. Some of the fights in Kingsman, for example, the scene in the church was planned for 6 months before we filmed it, and I was there giving input on that as it was evolving, and there on set editing it as well. Another way that an editor can get involved is to work on previs, where you can film the shots with virtual cameras using computer-generated objects and start to plan out some of the more complex sequences in the film. In X-Men First Class, Magneto's pulling the submarine out of the water. Those shots are all very expensive, so we plan them carefully in advance so we know what to film. The editor has a lot of independence from the stresses of the production and can be brutally honest with the director about the strengths and weaknesses of the material that's been shot. And the director would be wise to listen to them, because there are very few people who have the entire film's interests at heart. I am the very first person to see the film come to life in front of my eyes, before even the director, before the millions of people who may watch the film. In editing, you have free rein to do anything you want, and you have total control over every single thing the audience sees and hears from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. So it's very powerful, and it's an enormous privilege, and it's the best job.